right. $15 minute. Sorry, I wasn't able to be on the charts until now. But the daily, we have this wick. So, what you want to happen? We have a 4-hour SMT. ES wants to go lower for sure. Midpoint this low, midpoint of that point this low. We'll see how it reacts to the top of this fair value gap. There's also this wick. This wick. NQ. Not much. We have this low. This new week opening gap. Lows here. We just took out highs, went to the high of the new week opening gap. Now I think we're gonna go lower. 4-hour, a little red. Already down 32 points after taking out highs, making SMT. Consolidating through the night. So possibly 930 gap here. See, it primes up 928. Boom, goes above all these highs. Stops out people. And now it's already red. So the thing is, there is ten a.m. news today. So I'm just going to read my rules real quick with you. And on top of that, if you look at the equity, you have 3,500. However, since we lost money yesterday, my risk is still $60 in max position size. I'll do 2. But until I get my loss back, it will be $60. Block site. I'm gonna block these now. Docs. Okay. Did I do a market review last night? Unfortunately, I did not, so I have to wait for 10. Is there any news on the economic calendar? Yes. So I have to wait until 10. 15. I have nothing other open on OBS except for docs right here. No large range today. Regular trading hours gap I didn't really see. Anyways, let me outline this. And this. And just kept going. So regular trading hours gap. Yeah, there's a 10-point regular trading hours gap. Yes, half leverage. Bullseye. So for today, I think we can go anywhere. Here, we can go as far down as we like. I like this, and this for ES. We just took this out. I mean, I don't see the reason to go back up, so I do think it's going to close below this low if we're bearish. We also have 10 a.m. news, so it's very possible that we just meander around until 10 o'clock now. And this is a very... Look where we stopped. Stopped at the middle there. So what I would like to see is us to use that in reverse afterwards. And I would love to see NQ close below that low for sure. Now just a quick disclaimer, I do have, or heads up, I do have a coffee date with Matt Coca at 7:30 a.m. today. And since I can only trade at 10:15 and I have to leave at like 7:20, guess what? I want you to read this with me, and I want you to say this with me. It's fun. Guess what? There's what? You don't have to trade every day. And there is another session today. And it repeats over and over again. So, right now, this is exactly what you need. You didn't do a market review last night. You have something at 7:30. So, you have to be able to show your strength in not trading, and you have to be also, you're acting as if, okay, if in the ideal world I actually got in here, then right now I'd be freaking chilling. I would have taken off one, majority off here, and then there. We just made another SMT. I do think it's going lower, but it could also go back up into here. What do we have? We have a 5-minute fair value gap forming, so I want to see that SMT maybe go into here, dip into there, and then keep going lower. And then the 10 a.m. news to just further that. We have been looking for lower prices recently, so I am looking for that as well. and I didn't break the rules, but I didn't do market review last night, so just because of that alone, I'm just saying this because right now, like, I just want to take a trade. Right now, if I see that 5 minute, be what's it called? A SMT, then I'm like, oh, I want to take that trade so bad. But what if you did in your mind, when you feel like, okay, I'm taking the trade mentally, but because I broke the rules, because I have duty, because I have this, I'm not allowed to trade. And that's not a bad thing. So we do want the 15 minute to close below the 50% and that low. Um, Let me see if there's anything that we could. I mean, yeah, there's lows here, there's lows there, consequent encroachment, and another low. So for ES, we're pretty much set. For NQ, I want to look at some more, like, is there anything wake here? But yeah, I just want to see it smash through this. Because if you look at this market structure, there's nothing bullish about that. Um, so we want to see lower prices. And now we have had a lot of wicks. So now it'd be foolish to get into something like this. You wait for an SMT, you wait for more information, you wait for the 10 a.m. to start, you wait the 9:50 macro to start, you wait for an SMT, you wait for more information, you wait for it to further confirm through like a 15-minute close or a higher time frame. You wait for some sort of, yeah, that's all it is right now. And then you're like, okay, news at 10 a.m. It's likely, if ES is coming up like this, it's likely that it won't go down as much. But but it can also flush right now. So I'm looking for this 5 minute fair value gap. And the top of this gap, this consequent encroachment, if you will, which is that. And we're only at the weekly gap, right below the weekly gap. So we might stay here too. On the weekly chart, we've already turned bullish. This is that weekly objective for ES as well. And I just like to see how price reacts to the middle. And yeah. So we both went in here. So I'm no longer interested in that short as much as I would have if it made an SMT. And I can see it going in here and just consolidating for the 10 a.m. news. And if you excuse me, I will be right back. Or no, I'll just stay. But ES closed above here and is now here. And NQ closed above here. If it tapped down there, that's a potential buy to just get into there if you want. But that would be stupid. Also, you don't want to see this if you're bearish, because that means this 15-minute is not closing below that puppy unless it does. And that 1 hour, 4 hour, you want to see it close below. 4 hour, this is a good wick. So right here's maybe where a good short would occur if it was a normal day. But since there's 10 a.m. news, I'm not that interested in that short. And because it retraced so much on the 15-minute, it's definitely, I think, going to meander around until 10 a.m. if you look at that, we've retraced. Yeah, on the 1 minute, it's a nice retracement. On a 15-minute, it's just a large wick. So, given that, I'm not as ecstatic about the downside as I would be if it closed below here. But that's all right. I don't see. I mean, yeah, relative equal highs there, here, there, but I don't see a purpose in going there. That's just me though. So 50% here. It's definitely interesting. I would not have capitalized on that. And yeah, I definitely would not have made money on that. I'll be right back. So I'm just expecting. I wouldn't enter here because I know that there's 10 a.m. news. And it usually does something bearish. Like right here, it would go here, then go up here, consolidate, and then leave back at 10 a.m. For example, or it will if it wants to close the 4-hour bearish, it will retest this once, continue going, give it like 2 candles, and then boom. And what would that look like for me? I guess it would look like a retest of the 930 gap after closure. So right now, like a retest there, and then either a consolidation there or just a continual with like a last 2 up close. And then yeah, so you see last fair value gap, we close below it, come back into it right there. That's a good short. Anything in here, that's a good short. And then as we see, it's about to get in there. That's a good short. Because we're in the middle of 2 new week opening gaps. We have the 930 fair value gap. We show displacement lower. So here I would short it on a normal day. I would want to see this fair value gap open, but that's just me personally. So yeah, now we just wait for 10 a.m. and then 10:15. But I'm just not gonna trade this morning, because it's a good practice not to trade, and knowing that the security that I don't have to trade every day. And so here is where if you got in like right here, you'd set your stop here and it'd be like, okay, it shouldn't go there. It should start going lower now. But then it's going to go down, then it's going to come back up, then it's going to go down, then it's coming back up. And I can almost guarantee that it's going to just stay in this here with like larger candles until 10 a.m. So you really like it really, really, really wants to get you here with the tight stop. Okay, I'm gonna go. It's gonna go now. It's gonna go now. No, it's waiting for 10 a.m. So yeah, it's good practice because yeah, it's that I don't need to trade every day. I don't need to trade every session. I don't need to trade every morning, and it's a good representation of, I think, the past, like, I think that most of my trades, probably 90% of them are taken, between 6:30 and 7 or 9:30 and 10. And that's just so myopic. It's so, it's out of fear that if I don't do it right in the morning, then it's not going to happen. It's out of fear that I'm going to miss the entire move of the day. It's, it's out of fear that I trade always so early. Like right here. Oh, it's a fair value gap, man. Oh, it's wicking below. I'm going to keep adding. Bomb. No. There's news at 10. So, like I said, it's probably just going to keep me entering around here. Whichever side of the fair value gap it's on the top like this. Maybe it'll go higher if it's on the lower. Maybe it'll go lower. I'll keep that in mind. But 15-minute wise, not looking too good because the body stayed in here. But ES has been moving lower. We do have relative equal lows here now. And I guess here, and here. I guess here would be a good place for my target. Let's see where that new day opening gap is, because that might be of importance. So that gives you a lot more clarity now, doesn't it? Because here you have a weekly gap that's huge, another weekly gap, and the daily gap. We're below equilibrium. See, here you think for sure it's gonna go, but maybe it will. But then it somehow, comes back a little. So we have that SMT. Now that would be a good short. If it went further and then collapsed. But, this, I think it's getting everybody giddy. And it also needs to stop people out. Because ES didn't stop people out. NQ stopped a lot of people, but ES didn't really. So maybe I like the idea of us going above here. With making an SMT and then going lower. Something like that would be good. So yeah, you see there's a consolidation. Then the last 5 minutes, it's like, okay, we got to make a Judas swing, a false thing. We got to take stops out. We got to do that smart money thing that we do. And this is what I'm trying to learn right now. What does it do at 10 a.m.? So also just to be more organized in the future, to make a video series, 10 a.m. news. Okay, is this a repeatable pattern? Okay, it always goes down in the first minutes. Then it goes up, then it consolidates around a gap. And then, okay, last 5 minutes right now it's going up. And look, it just almost took that high. We have relative equal highs now. And it's about to pierce through there. Yeah, boom. So just pierce that high. As well as these relative equals. So we just took out stops. It's not closing above there. And NQ has SMT divergence. And we have 3 more candles left. So what I want to see is NQ takes those. And possibly we just go higher. If ES can't close above that, neither can NQ. If we can't close above that high, then I can see us going lower still. And we do have that 15-minute SMT right now, which is this right here. So if you were to ask me, I don't know. Genuinely, I don't know if it's going to go up or down. Because my bias is so bearish, I'd say down. But because of the way it's acting on the 15-minute and the 4-hour, I'd say up. So I do think it's going to go up. But that 4-hour wick is absolutely devious. So I don't know. I don't see a reason for it to go up. But if it does, I want to see it break above the new week opening gap, this, and ultimately take this high. But genuinely, I don't know what it's gonna do. We're not far from this high and these relative equal highs and this right here. But if we don't close above this high for ES, I think we're going lower. So yeah, in this candle, if it doesn't close above that high, I don't think we're going higher. And I don't feel any part of FOMO as I wasn't a part of this, because as of right now, maybe in the future it won't be my rule to wait until 10, but as of right now it is, until I gain more insight and evidence on what happens in these. I feel like this always happens, and then big range in the first 5 minutes, and it consolidates, and then it goes somewhere. Okay, we have an SMT now, so now it's just gonna flush down. See? Wow. Okay, this is very interesting. I'm not wrong or right. I'm just looking. So we do have a 4-hour SMT now. This right here, up into this wick, and I think it's gonna go down. I think it's gonna absolutely flush. Hmm. I would get in if it closed below 50% here and here. That's when I would get in with my first one, second one, and that's it. 2 entries on that. But I'd wait for it to close below the midpoint in this for sure. But that doesn't look like the case. I guess I have to frame the upside too then. I don't want to though, because there's just no way in my head that it's going up. It does there, and I'm not interested. I'm actually comfortable to say that I'm not interested if it goes up. But I guess I do have to frame it. I just don't see what there would be. This unless I just don't see it. Oh, we had our first fair value gap. Wait the second. What? How did I miss this? Oh, this is so much different now. As long as we closed the 4-hour, we closed all these above this fair value gap, and we went to the low. We went to 50%. We took out lows. It's a lot more clear now, isn't it? Took out lows, stopped higher. We're above that. If it closes above there, then I would like a piece of that cake. Yeah, even here, if there's any retracement down into there, like that, I would have bought. And there. So 28, let's say 29, let's say 30 for 30 to 19. Let's see if I get stopped out. And thing is here to go much lower. It could create a down candle in here. But yeah, I would have my stop below this low now. But I mean, I wouldn't be in this. See, the thing is, if it was a downwards, like I would just because of here. But then again, it's just I don't like how, like yeah, the 4 hour closed nicely lower. I mean higher. Look at that. So I genuinely um if ES uses this as an inversion, that would be something to look at. Let's look at the 5 minute though. This is what I'm most interested in. Does the body close higher? There was never a trade because we never closed above these. I can see it reversing now. I wouldn't sell that yet though. Who is Vivek? His name sounds familiar. So yeah, if there's a closure above there, sure. If there's a closure below there, we're on. With that being said, I still would not trade it because the target is, oh, well, I would not trade that anyways. And if it goes, probably will. No, thank you. See how much easier it is now? You're not trying, oh, it needs to go here. No, 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 no. No, no. You're waiting for your setup. You're waiting to see it happen. We just hit consequent encroachment. Oh, right here. You know, 15-minute. I'm actually very curious to see how it closes. We have relative equal high. We just took out that high. And because we do have those highs, I don't feel comfortable shorting, but it's definitely possible. So is there actually a fair value gap? Because that's remarkable. And there is probably the ugliest fair value gap I've ever seen in my life. So with this being said, I'm not bullish. But also, this is a Wix Wonderland. So I would not want to see this high taken out. I want to see it reverse now. And I guess my biggest fear is coming back and seeing the market 400 handles down. But that's irrational because it repeats. And this is technically the first closure above. So that's a potential buy, honestly. Yeah, I'd buy that into there. With my stop. I would buy that, but I wouldn't. I mean, like, I'm just saying that's potentially. I don't want to see it go up from here, but also because of this, you don't want to buy there right when it's there. I can play around with you. you'd think it'd go, but you don't have to lose yourself over this, especially with that, you know. So it could go up there, and it probably will. I don't think that the run will sustain itself up there, but other than that, I'll see you in the next one.